Hello, what's up guys? And today I'm attempting to build my own dungeon room. And wait, I'm not copying AverageSweats' video, I promise. Well, kinda. But quite a few months ago, I started a build similar to this, but I was planning on doing an entire dungeon, and it was gonna be for the not coming soon desert dungeon. I started working on it, but stopped quickly as I couldn't really think of ways to fill each room. Watching Average's video got me excited again, and I decided to give it another go, but just one room and from the Catacombs dungeon. I grabbed my wand and started building a square for the room. I didn't know the exact size of the room, so I just went for a 50 by 50 block square. Now that it's done, it feels a bit large to be a normal room, but also too small to be a 2 by 2. I brought up the walls and filled in the bottom a bit so that I could add some caves down there later. Going to the middle, I started building some sort of well type thing and added some large arches. I added some color with cobblestone and then filled out the floor a bit with some stone, gravel, and andesite. Next, I added some walls connected with 4 big pillars. I attempted to make some of the hopper fire pots, and after failing at that, started detailing the walls. Next, to fill out the room a bit, I added some of these wood boxes and carpets. I continued to detail the room with some torches and maybe even a secret or two. Once that was done, I felt like it was a bit crowded, so I took out some of the arches and replaced them with braces for the ceiling. Going down into the wells that I built before, I started carving out some areas for the caves. With the version of World Edit I'm using, I don't really have any good smoothing brushes, so I did it all by hand. It takes longer, but I think I like the result more. I added some gravel and mushrooms before continuing to finish the rest of these caves. One thing I tried to do for the entire build was the accessibility. Although having to make everywhere accessible to people without the use of grappling hooks or any teleporting ability makes it a bit harder to hide things, but it can also be used to add some nice details. For the well, I made a tiny little parkour course built into the leaves. Going back up, I started working on some stairs on the outside of the inner walls. I built a bit of an alcove above the stairs and added a crypt to fill in the empty space. I was struggling to come up with what to do on top of this room, and I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I started making the roof all broken down and ruined. I added some wood braces sticking out and some leaves to add a bit of color. Once I was pretty much happy with how the broken down bits were coming along, I had to decide what to do for the second floor. And I decided on a giant room with a rounded prismarine roof. I'm kind of going off the idea that the whole catacombs is pretty much built underground, so I added some sections of rock to look like the miners didn't quite finish the job. After that, I added a bunch of supports for the roof, and following the idea that this room was kind of falling apart, added one of the columns all destroyed and pretty much hanging there. Once that was done, I finally had to tackle actually figuring out what to do for the large walls at either side, and I decided, although I still suck at organics, to try and build a statue. It turned out to be much too tall, and I decided to just keep detailing and figure out what to do later. I added a bunch of scaffolding, maybe there was a team of workers trying to rebuild the room, I don't know. In the end, I pretty much just added some pillars with arches on the ends, and hopefully it's not too boring. With a bunch more scaffolding and some leaves, the room was pretty much done. So it's definitely ugly on the outside, but going through the door, we come into the first room, which is just a little crossroads for the stairs. Going through the next set of doors, we come into the main area with the well and the dilapidated ceiling. This room was partially inspired by this L-shaped room in the actual catacombs. Going behind one of these boxes, we'll find the first secret. So coming up top here, there is this large prismarine roof, which is very similar to an actual dungeon room, but I tried to keep the rest of this section as different as possible. Going back to the stairs, we can run behind one of these crypts and hit a lever. And running back up, imagining this was a functioning room, it would remove these bars. The last thing is pretty much in the well, where I think I would probably put a bat or maybe an item. So yeah, although maybe it's not a complete copy, I probably wouldn't have made this video if I hadn't watched AverageSweats' video, so go check out his channel. But anyways, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, have a nice day, and happy building!